Also, in an hour, the purge starts. Good, me.
3, 2. Here we go. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when people think it's more important to maintain group cohesiveness than anything else? What is it called when people think it's more important to maintain group cohesiveness than anything else? Alexis. Groupthink. What is it called when Jackson went home last night and said, Mom, I need to have a whale sweater? So his mom was like, no, Jackson, that's ridiculous. And he's like, if I don't have it, people are going to make fun of me. So last night, his mom went and bought him a whale sweater.
I had to make sure I was wearing it.
Jackson, what is it?
Conformity.
Conformity. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the name of the gentleman who did the conformity experiment? When people will change their opinion in order to fit in.
Eric, what's your number?
5'10".
What is it, Matt? Ash. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the name of the gentleman who does the obedience experiment? Saying that we will follow authority figures no matter what. What is it? Gabriel. Pilgrim. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called as I'm driving home when I get to Kennedy? A police officer says, hey, I need you to turn around and go back down this other street. What is that called? Good, I'm glad we went over it. So far I only have one correct answer. What is it, Gabriel? Obedience. Guys, here's the difference between obedience and compliance, and you're going to want to write this down. Compliance means forever, for the rest of your life, you're going to do it. There's going to be situations where something goes terribly wrong, and you will forever always change the way you do something. Okay? Like, for instance, God forbid you get into a really bad car accident because you are texting and driving. Guess what you're never going to do? That's compliance. Okay? Say, for instance, you got a really expensive speeding ticket driving in the back roads of Virginia in a bright blue BMW with out-of-state tags, and you had to pay a very large fine, and it ruined your vacation. Guess what you are not going to be doing in the back roads of Yorktown, Virginia? I know, but I will never. Oh, stupid Yorktown. I hate them. What is it called? Why don't I assign group work? I think it's because my smartest students become incredibly lazy and the quality of work is crap. What do we call this, Morgan? Social loafing. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when I ask Christina if I can stay at her house for 3 months? No big deal. And she's like, hell no. I was like, fine, we have to spend the weekend. She's like, oh my God, it's like we're sisters. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's funny.
I know, Jackson, I saw it. What is it, Christina?
It's door and face technique.
Door and face. What is it called when you are when you're getting Christmas presents or Hanukkah presents or Kwanzaa presents?
Okay.
And they don't do presents in Kwanzaa? Whatever.
What?
Anyway.
Is it Kwanzaa?
When you're aren't they all them?
Yeah.
Anyway, you're opening a gift and you get this really amazing shirt that you absolutely love, but you're like, oh my God, I could never wear this to school because everyone will make fun of me because I love whatever it is so much. So you refuse to wear it to school. What is that called? I hate them so much, I've already returned them. What is it? That's kind of a weird example, I guess. That's fine. What is it? Ella. Social influence. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called? So when I stand in my house and juggle in front of Toby, I'm really terrible at it. But in front of you, I am awesome. What is that called? Good, I got one.
You know about this.
What is it, Avery?
Social facilitation.
Social facilitation. All right, so I'm going to start at the very end today because my first period didn't get to finish, and I'm going to start at the end because there's a bunch of stuff at the end, and I'm going to work my way forward. Is that clear? We're going to move really quick today because I'd like to cover as much as I possibly can. Because your test tomorrow isn't hard. It's a lot of definitions. It's a lot of definitions. So if you know your definitions, you're going to be just fine. There's a okay amount of, there's less situations, more definitions than usual. Is that fair? Yes? Okay, so the first thing is fundamental attribution error. It's the tendency to overestimate the influence of internal factors in determining, so I'm at the bottom of your study guide, I assume? No?
We're recording.
Yes.
Hi, it's Avery.
You need to have this, maybe write this down at the bottom of your study guide because you're going to need it. Fundamental attribution error is the overestimating of influence of internal factors in determining behavior while underestimating situational factors. Okay? Have you ever gone to a restaurant and you gave your order to the server and said, "Hi, I want a Coke, I want a plain cheeseburger, absolutely nothing on it, French fries, well done," and then it comes out and there's an error? She got you. Yeah, I love my French fries, well done. I like them crunchy.
Well, how do you well done a French fry?
You just cook it a little longer.
Wait,
Well done French fries.
I've never heard of they never asked that. How do you want your
No,
fries?
you ask because I like them crunchy.
Do they actually do it?
Yeah, it's not that hard.
So
I
specific.
didn't know that was a thing.
Well, step up your game, man. It's delicious. Anyway, and then when the server brings it to you, you're like, "This is wrong. Is she stupid? It's not that hard. It's well done French fries." Have you ever thought that, said that? You had a server that made a mistake and you were like, "Oh my God, they're so bad at their job. How do they do that?" Yes, you all have. You are liars. You are liars. Except Valentino, who is going to be a cheesemaker. I've learned so much today. I love it. You should be. That's such a cool thing, man.
It's so smelly.
Have pride in your work, man. You make cheese. Cheese makes everyone happy. Okay, so fundamental attribution errors is that you assume that all failures are because of internal factors. Like, for instance, they're not smart enough to do their job. Instead of the fact that you didn't look behind you and there's a table of teenagers all ordering water and like 10,000 lemons, oh, and conveniently they need more sugar from their sugar bowl because they're making lemonade. And then her other table has a little kid who happens to be throwing things on the floor, and the mother has then, for the second time, spilt the juice.
Again,
Sorry.
this is like the obvious
So, fundamental attribution error means you believe all faults are because they're an idiot, they're a moron, they have no moral guidance, they're completely useless, instead of situational errors. Okay? What? So, attributions are the process of explaining one's own behavior and the behavior of others. When we think attributions, just listen. When we think attribution, what makes you behave the way you are? One of my attributions is that I always say please and thank you. I'm a very polite person, even when I'm being rude to people, like driving. I'm like honking or yelling at them in the car, and when they get out of my way, I always say thank you.
That's not nice.
And then if someone is annoying me and they're in front of me, or like I'm like someone's losing their mind behind me over something because like I understand road rage, I say you're welcome. When, especially in the grocery store, oh, I hate people like that. It's so annoying. Anyway, all those things are attributions, how I explain my own behavior. I am very catty, but in a polite way. I make sure I always use my manners. Attribution theory is how people make attributions, so situational, cause, and dispositional. Okay, do you need those now? Okay, perfect. So, you do need fundamental attribution error. Do you need implicit personality theory schemas?
Yes.
Perfect. On the back. Okay, so implicit personality theory sets of assumptions about how different types of people, personality traits, and actions are related to each other. Okay? We follow stereotypes all the time. Okay, stereotypes do have a place in society. Okay, they are both positive and negative for all people and all colors. Yes, there's different stereotypes that are positive and negative for women. There's positive and negative stereotypes for men. There are positive and negative for each race. So implicit personality is when we take those essential stereotypes and see how they're related. Okay? So we take, for instance, Miss Bennett has glasses. So what is the stereotype?
You're smart.
I'm smart.
Before I-
Okay? Well, Miss Bennett wears glasses. She must be smart. Oh, Miss Bennett has 3 college degrees. See? Her glasses, 3 degrees. It's obviously true. Okay? That is implicit personality theory. We make assumptions about basic things and try to make a complete picture. We do this all the time, correct? When we look at who people are friends with, right? We assume. So, I happen to know Morgan is an incredibly rude, hateful person. And she happens to hang out all the time with Christina. I don't really know much about Christina, but she's hanging out with such a disgusting human being like Morgan. She's obviously a crappy person too. Disgusting. So when I see Christina, I treat her like Morgan. Ugh, the worst. Yeah, the mean girls. That's what they are. Okay? That is implicit personality. Schemas, of course, are mental patterns that represent what a person believes about certain types. Schemas can become stereotypes, okay? If you ever met a blonde girl who said something stupid, you're like, ha! It's because you're blonde! Ha ha!
I mean, like, what if you rather have, like...
You're Asian. Oh my God. You didn't fail the math test. Ah! Got it. It's because you're Asian. Got it. Those are schemas.
Here, you don't get names.
Are we really talking about math right now?
You brought it up.
All right. And then we have social categorization. Yes. Perfect. So, social coming after it. Social categorization is how we group people with other people who had similar experiences. Okay, we do this all the damn time. In the most cliche or High School Musical way, we have the jocks, we have the brainiacs, we have the cheerleaders. Okay, here at Plant we have the rowing cult.
It's not a cult.
Yes.
Everyone calls you a cult. Everyone calls you a
Hey,
cult.
man.
We have our ROTC group kids, okay? I always see them wandering around halls together,
Thank you for your service.
Yes.
okay? And then we have, everyone kind of fits into a group. That's social categorization. The reason why we do that, gentlemen, is to make it easier for us to process new information. So, I just got a brand new kid to my school in AP World, and he is a baseball player. And so I actually don't know. Yeah, that would be disgusting.
Dip is the verb, isn't it? Don't you dip? Is that the verb? There's no, dip is also like a noun and a verb. It's like I dip.
Can we move forward? So, automatically I'm like, oh, well, when you join the baseball team, you're going to become friends with the baseball players. Good luck to the kid. Good luck to the kid. Anyway, so stereotypes are a set of characteristics that people believe is shared by all members of a particular social category. Okay? Now, we all know stereotypes. I don't think we really need to rehash them, do we? There's both positive and negative. Okay? Like, for instance, because I'm a girl, my place is in the kitchen.
Is the kid
You
It
guys
really
are Justin?
does matter. Justin. I was just making up an example. I don't have a kid who's a sophomore who plays baseball. No, this is new.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
Cool. Alright, so stereotypes. Yeah, I think we're good on stereotypes. Like, if I need to provide more examples, you clearly don't have a racist uncle, so good for you. Oh, am I wrong? Does
Does
everyone not have a racist uncle?
I don't.
No.
Oh, that's so good for you. Really? Aw. Well.
You need them. You need them to learn.
They're not racist around me. Oh, well,
Wait,
good for
Stay
you.
here, stay here.
We're all
Please.
This is
racist.
important.
We're all racist. No, we're all aware of stereotypes. Some of us act on it. When you act on a stereotype, that's racist.
Maybe not.
Whoa.
What are you talking about? We're moving forward. I know. Do you need to talk to someone? Are you being mistreated here, Gabriel? All right. So social cognition is the mental processes that people use to make sense of the social world around them. I have a very low social cognition. What that means is that in social situations I can't behave properly. So much so that I get kicked under the table all the time by McCray. Constantly. Oh my God. I literally had a bruise from New Year's because he kicked me so many times because Mo kept saying stupid stuff.
You fight her.
Who's that?
Who's that? My arch nemesis.
Oh, the one you hate?
Yeah.
When you say dumb stuff.
I'm not allowed to speak, so I didn't speak.
Isn't like she flirting with your husband?
No.
This minute would go off.
Obviously, I missed something.
Yeah, no. She's just such a horrible human being. Just a horrible racist.
She
was
says
also added
those
to it.
people. She said those people.
And a bunch of other really, really
Wait, what does she
inflammatory
do? Where does she live?
She works for Target. She's the manager at Target.
Where does she
Hi. She makes almost double my salary.
Is that why you have her?
That's just a screw.
So, just a fun fact. Anyway, she would say stupid things at the table, and instead of being like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" which would be,
Your natural discovery.
you're supposed to sit there and smile and not say anything because it's rude to call people out for being rude.
No, it's not.
Wait, give us an example.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Wow. I get kicked at the table. And then we went to dinner with my family. I'm also not allowed to say whatever I want. It was also getting kicked under the table.
By who?
And by McCray. And McCray, a couple times, he was like, I kicked it. I was like, I didn't say anything wrong. And he's like, I know, but it was preemptive. You were on the verge of saying something not needed. And I was like, damn it. Okay, so social cognition. The most popular people you know are going to have very easy conversations with people. They get to know people really quickly. They remember important key facts. McCray is very high social cognition. The reason why he's moved up so well and his clients love him so much, which is how helped him move up so fast, is because he remembers stupid things about people's lives. Like, for instance, if he meets Abigail at work and he's like, oh, Abigail mentions how she's going to San Francisco for the weekend with a bunch of her girlfriends. Next time McCray sees Abigail, he'll be like, oh my God, Abigail, how was San Francisco? You know, you were really excited about going into wine country from San Francisco with your girlfriends. How did it go? And everyone's like,
That's me.
I've never been to San Francisco. Okay? Impression formation is forming the first knowledge has about another person. Okay? When you have impression formation, it's really hard to shake. For instance, at open house, you probably didn't like me.
I remember
And then-
walking in, some girl like walked past me and was just shaking her head. She's like, good luck.
And look at us now, Jackson. Anyway, with that being said, it probably took you a while to shake off that whole feeling like, oh my God, this woman's crazy. Now you get it. Now you see. And now everything's fine. But it's taken a while. Some of you, like Patrick, has yet to move forward to the fact that I'm charming and wonderful and just the best. Patrick is really holding on to...
For yourself was you're gonna hate me.
Exactly. And you all did. Do we not remember the first 3 weeks?
Yeah.
What do you mean, did?
Yeah, the way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so annoying every time.
I literally
Ask
really
people,
Perfect.
People hate me and people like me. You're like,
Absolutely. It's still true. Every single day. I get all the time. No, I know, but the first 3 weeks of school? Yeah.
Okay, what did
Pretty
that do? We
hated.
actually have to write.
Okay, so I'm skipping that. We're going to persuasion. Hi, we're going to need it. This stuff is more questions. There's only one question on cognitive dissonance, and you're not going to get it. Because it's hard. It's hard, and you're just not going to get it. Okay, this is not my first rodeo.
Wait, what was it?
Well,
The hard
what's
one is
the
cognitive
question?
persuasion.
You put a question.
The really hard one is cognitive.
Because it's on your AP exam, and it was on last year. It hasn't been on the last couple of years, but it was on it last year. Yeah, I'm probably just going to tell you the answer because I'm just over it. And and I don't really want to teach it because you guys just don't get it. It's a terrible video to show you. It's an original experiment, and it's awful, and you guys just don't get it every single year historically, and it's so annoying. Aw. Oh, I believe in you too, Gabriel.
It's a substitute for like the breaking on the questions when I just draw
No.
Why do you want to do that like this?
Because he needs the attention of being told no. Persuasion is the process by which one person tries to change the belief, opinion, position, or course of action of another person through argument, pleading, or explanation. I used to really think persuasion could be used on pretty much everyone about every topic, but I disagree now. The last 2 years has shown me that if whatever your political opinion is, it ain't changing. No matter how much, no matter how well cited your argument is, it just won't change. So if you are, I love Trump more than anything, there's nothing someone who hates Trump is going to do to change it. If you hate Trump more than anything, there is nothing a pro-Trump person is going to say is going to change your mind. Can we agree at this point?
I mean,
I
money.
really do. Huh?
Money. That would probably work like every time.
No, but you never change their opinion.
That's not
They
really
just tell
changing
you-
their opinion.
They just
But
be like,
it
yeah, I'll
would
make them
work.
regret now, and then you give them money, and it beats them.
Yeah, that's a non-argument. So persuasion, we use persuasion all the time. Okay, key elements are the source of the message. Now this is on your study guide. May I see your focus for just a moment, please? Perfect. Okay. All right. So write this on your study guide, and then we're going to switch to your focus here in a second. So elaboration, likelihood, method. Write this down. Don't write that whole definition. Write this down. Oh my God, you're going to be fine. The more you elaborate on something, the more likely people are going to believe it. The more you elaborate on something, the more likely people are going to believe it. So, I personally believe that cheesecakes are the best dessert. Why, you ask? Well, let me tell you, David. Cheesecakes are incredibly decadent. They're super creamy, they're super rich, they're super filling. On top of it, you can make a cheesecake into any other dessert. There's butterscotch cheesecake, there's apple spice cheesecake, there's peanut butter cheesecake. If you go to Cheesecake Factory, which obviously bears the name of cheesecake as the best of the desserts, you can try all different types of cheesecake. There's cheesecake that you can put inside red velvet cake to have cheesecake cake. You can have apples on top of a cheesecake. There is cherry cheesecake. There's one that's called pina colada that is incredibly rich and decadent because cheesecake is a universal dessert that can never be trumped because to have a dessert is to be the dessert. And if you are a cheesecake, you are every dessert.
I like how this is being
Tell us how
recorded.
you really
By the way, I don't like cheesecakes. They're not really my thing, no.
Yeah. If Valentino can make cheese, can you also make cheesecake?
You literally held your hand up for a minute.
Yeah.
For 3 cheap laughs.
Well, I want to know. I actually want a cheesecake.
Cool. Okay, so elaboration. You're more likely to start believing, Max, that cheesecake is actually a good dessert because the more I keep saying, well, if you like this and you like this cheesecake and stuff like that, the more things you add to it, the more likely you are to believe. So, when we talk about persuasion, there are 2 major ways we do it. Central route and peripheral route. Central route persuasion is like if I was going to run for the Florida Senate seat and kick out Marco Rubio. Little Marco, isn't that his nickname? If I was going to kick out Little Marco. Cool. You have really big everything. You're humongous.
Yeah, he's got a pretty boy face. He's
You're
definitely
proportional?
ancestral.
Okay, we're moving forward because I got to get through this. So central route processing, if I was going to run for the Senate, okay, I would say, hi, my name is Samantha Bennett. I have been teaching in the state of Florida for over 10 years. I have lived in the state of Florida since my senior year of high school. I've gone to college here. I've gotten married here. The reason why I want to be a state senator is because I've seen how wonderful the state of Florida can be. I believe that by improving our schools, we improve our state. By being an educator for over 10 years in the state of Florida, I've seen the problems that we have. I know the issues we have in education. By improving education, it's going to improve both our academic standings in the country as well as our economic profitability. When we talk about other issues, I've been working within our communities for the last 15 years plus. I take great pride in all the work I've done, and I have seen firsthand ways that we can improve Florida to be the best state in the union. Thank you. My name's Sam Bennett. Vote for me. Okay, that's central route processing. I'm talking about all the issues I actually care about, and I'm talking about all the qualifications that I have to hold the office. Everyone hear that? Yes? Peripheral route processing. Hi, my name's Sam Bennett. So nice to meet you guys. So, I live in Tampa, and I have a really cute husband who would look great as the first man of the state of Florida. I love to go to the beach. I am passionate about music. I go to concerts all the time. And I have blonde hair, blue eyes, so I'm totally relatable, obviously. I have excellent taste. Look at my scarf collection. I'm
It's like
fine.
you're like a Miss Universe person. Like you're like what?
Wow.
That is ridiculous.
No, like the beauty pageants. They're like, what are your opinions on
No,
this?
stop
Yeah,
talking.
like-
You're done. So all I'm doing, well, I'm still running. Oh, my name's Sam Bennett, and please vote for me for a state seat. Okay? Did I tell you any of the issues I care about? Did I tell you any of the qualifications I have for holding office? No, absolutely not. All I did was tell you things that I like, and you're gonna vote for me because you like the way I look, you like the way I talk, the way like where I come from, or you like my outfit, which is obviously the best. Did you say tacky?
No, I said everyone loves
Your outfit.
Fine. Anyway, these two are very, very common in political elections. First of all, there are some people who refuse to vote for Hillary Clinton because of her pantsuits. They made people uncomfortable.
In that video when she says, just chilling here at
Oh Some people did not vote for Hillary Clinton because they didn't want to they didn't like her. They didn't like the sound of her voice. They didn't like the way she looked. They just
No, she wears a pantsuit for a reason.
Okay.
If people find people in suits to be more.
No, but some people just don't like it and won't vote for her. Some people didn't vote for Trump because they didn't trust the hair. Which makes a lot of sense because it's just kind of weird. It's so confusing. Okay? Some people did not vote for Trump because they just don't like New Yorkers.
What is tan?
His tan is also really creepy. Does it get on his white shirts?
I've seen cartoons.
You know what I mean? So when we talk about, for instance, my Nana was very proud to vote for JFK because she thought he was the most handsome politician she's ever seen. My grandfather happily voted for JFK because he was the first Catholic to ever hold office. Okay? People vote for many different reasons. People are persuaded for different reasons. When you voted for your elections here at Plant High School, did you vote on quality of character? Or did you vote for your friends?
Friends.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. All right. So, formation of attitudes. This is on your focus, by the way. I'm filling in that back chart right now. So, when we talk about formation of attitudes, okay, why you like the things you like, all of those different types of things, there's a couple different ways. The first one on there is direct contact. So, an application of this, we'll go backwards. We started going backwards, we're going to go. Application of this, if you go to a slaughterhouse and you refuse to eat meat again, direct contact is you learn something firsthand and that changes the way you see something. So say, for instance, for instance, when I went to Greece 2 summers ago, there was a ton of refugees in Greece. And they were living at the old airport. Tons of refugees. They estimated about 100,000 people were living there. And they're all living in tents. Seeing that and seeing the poverty that they were living in, my heart goes out for them. And I personally have come back to Tampa, and I have tried to be giving more to immigrants here. McCray and I have donated time, money, and some resources to try to help immigrants and refugees here in the United States in our local Tampa Bay area. It made an impact because of that direct contact. Okay, so another way is direct instruction. Someone told you about something, and that changed your opinion. For instance, I watched a documentary about the slaughtering of cows. That changed my opinion on eating meat. Do you see the difference between the two? You go and you live it, and then someone tells you about it. Okay? Obviously, we know fake news. You can never trust what you watch. I'm so excited for that tonight. I can't even Okay, so direct instruction also happens a lot with your parents. And most of you are going to share the same political beliefs as your parents, whether they're Republican, Democrat, whatever they are. That's direct instruction. From hearing your mom, your dad talk about political issues, dealing with their slant, you're more likely to follow that route. Direct instruction. Interaction with others. Okay? If all of a sudden in college you find yourself surrounded by a bunch of Democrats, even if you're the most staunch Republican in the world, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to start shifting over because of hearing the arguments from the Democrats. Now, say you're a staunch Democrat and you start hanging out with a bunch of staunch Republicans, you're going to start shifting right. Now, does that mean you're definitely going to become a Republican? No, but you're going to start leaning maybe more. I hope every single one of you, from your interactions, your attitudes change. I will tell you right now, my parents do not have a very positive attitude towards blacks and Latinos and Chinese.
What? Hey, what did us?
I don't know. I don't know why Chinese. I don't know why Chinese. I can tell you why the black and Latinos, because they're from a very white part of Massachusetts. Like white. In my high school up in Massachusetts, there were 3 black people and 1 Hispanic person. 1. There were no Asians. So my parents grew up in this part, and because of that, their idea, when I came home with my friends would come over, and I had a couple of black friends, I had 2 Muslims. Oh my God, they almost died. They're like, you know Muslim people? I was like, yeah. Yeah. Okay? And then my best friend in high school was Colombian. It just blew my whole world, my parents' whole world apart. There you go. Go back.
So it's basically a scholarship requirement.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like my parents, I think